So next from Harrison Yanger, and the subject is Bayley's big mistake. It's been reported over the past 7 days that Bayley, Charlotte, Rey Mysterio, and dangerous hardened ex-convict and street gang member Dominic Mysterio have all re-signed with WWE for a nice bump in pay. Good for them, and I'm looking forward to sticking around. What I'd like to know for you guys is apparently Bayley didn't open talks with AEW at all. Now, we all know that AEW is a pile of garbage. They book their women worse than any company in history, but we also know that Tony Khan is a money mark. He could have made Bayley a big counter offer so that he could possibly get even more money from WWE, so that she could possibly get even more money from WWE. I think that Bayley made a business mistake by not at least hearing what AEW had to offer. How on earth could I possibly know this unless I know what she was making?
Sure.
Who knows?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Side note on this, one is same thing with the Conrad hatred that apparently is a thing. Like just 2 years ago or 3, whenever Punk came in for them, man, that they were on a roll and everybody was loving AEW. And it's crazy now how much these fans have turned against Tony and AEW. And the other thing was they mentioned Dominic. That's pretty cool for someone that you know and have been in the ring with too. Obviously, that WWE was like, yo, Punk's first match back is going to be Dom. Like that's a pretty big deal for the kid. They put him in the ring with Punk for that first return match.
Yeah.
At least it looks like it.
And next is from William Molina Jr. and subject is NDAs for life. Hello, K100 crew. Recently came across an article discussing legal perspectives shared by CM Punk and Ace Steel's attorney, Stephen P. New, particularly about the non-disclosure agreements signed in relation to the All Out 2022 incident in AEW. It was mentioned these NDAs are binding for life, with the stipulation that only Ace Steel's wife may choose to speak on the matter she wishes. This leads me to 2 inquiries. Is the concept of a lifetime NDA a common practice, or is this an unusual length of an NDA? Given the performance of these NDAs, does it imply there might be more layers of undisclosed aspects of the All Out 2022 incident than what has publicly been reported? Or is the information currently available likely the full extent of what will ever be known due to the restrictions imposed by these agreements? Good grief, everybody's been talking about this. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, this thing is dead and buried. Everybody wants to know exactly what happened and stuff. But NDAs are fairly common in business. I don't know what I don't know. I have no comment on this because I've heard the chatter, but how can I, is NDAs for life? All right. Well, I don't know the legalese here,
Well, it's like we said before when this was brought up. If anybody ever wants to tell the story or give out some tidbits in a book or in a report, you're an anonymous source, So we'll probably hear more. But what more do you need to hear? There was a fight. Somebody started it, and there was, everybody got suspended. I'm not as interested in it as I was when it first happened. You're like, but who cares anymore, really?
Well, if she didn't sign an NDA, if I was her, and I may steal, and I'm thinking I can make a pretty penny on a book, why would she not write a short little book about what happened?
Right? Yeah, sure, exactly. Yep.
All right. So next is from Long Grand Wang. Subject is Aldis versus Orton. SmackDown last night was the K100 special. Not only did Nick Aldis get a segment with Roman Reigns, which Aldis came out on top, but Karrion Kross had a fantastic promo announcing his new faction, which, according to reports, will be the angle the WWE had planned to do with Bray Wyatt before the worst thing imaginable happened to him. Maybe I'll call Kross and find out if that's accurate. My question is about Nick Aldis, though. A few weeks ago, Aldis took the RKO, which means that clearly WWE are cool with him taking bumps. He's had a few tense segments with Orton since. What do you guys think are the realistic chances of this setting the seeds for an Aldis versus Orton match at WrestleMania? I would love to see that. Well, first of all, Aldis, bro, just because Aldis is doing good content in these promos and everything doesn't mean everybody's like, oh, he should wrestle. He's doing fine in his role. He's a TV character that's performing his role very well. So, I'm not interested in seeing him wrestle yet. Nothing has risen to the level of he should want to fight somebody. Maybe down the road, it makes sense, but right now it's he's doing great at what he's doing.
I think it's early to say, but I think what'll happen, DI, is they'll continue to have little problems between Orton and Aldis, and we're 3-4 months away from WrestleMania, so they can just keep building it and make it into something. I'd be happy to see it as an Aldis fan. And the word around the campfire here around the internet is that Kross's guys are going to be the authors of Pain, but I don't remember them ever being affiliated with Bray. So I don't know if that's
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So
yeah.
I'd rather just. I don't want to be spoiled. I'd rather just find out what's
right.
Yeah. Next one, Matthew Ince. Subject is Maxine the victim. The Rhea Ripley versus Maxine Dupri match that happened on the Raw recently has been voted online as the worst WWE match of 2023. Maxine was clearly out of her depth. She should never have been put in there, but my question is, could there be darker motives behind her match? Apparently that match, including training, was Maxine's sixth match in history. There's not a chance that anyone backstage could have assumed that match would be anything but a total car crash, so why did it happen? Could it be possible that Maxine is backstage heat and they sent her out there to be publicly embarrassed? I think honestly, I think you have two attractive women and you put them on TV and it probably drew a good rating. You know, you could change. We could change the channel when that thing's on.
No, because it's Rhea who's very popular, and then it's a newer-ish. She's not new, but new in the ring kind of talent. It's interesting.
Right.
Maybe they thought Rhea could get something out of her. They want to see what she can do, and
well,
but there's always dark motives. So who knows?
And that's been her whole gimmick too, is that she's like this girl that never wrestled before, and like the Alpha Academy literally started training her. So why would she be why would she even, the perspective from the fans and from storyline purposes, why would she not suck in that situation, you know?
Especially compared to Rhea, who's like top dog.
Of course. Yeah. Next is from Sky Flame Away, and the subject is Bombs Away. Dark Side of the Ring, Bombs Away was a phrase that New Jack said after he tossed Vic Grimes off a scaffold that was roughly 30 to 40 feet. Throughout the history of wrestling, there were multiple scaffold matches in major promotions such as NWA, ECW, WCW, and TNA. However, there's never been one in the WWF or WWE. Was there any discussion for you guys' knowledge, or did you think it was too dangerous? Lastly, what type of storyline would benefit from a scaffold match as the climax? Also, can all you please review the 10-second clip below of a scaffold match and provide your individual evaluations? Features a notorious deathmatch wrestler named Supreme throwing the Angel off of a scaffold into an exploding ring with animated commentary. I don't have to see this. And this is typical. Yeah, don't even bother playing it.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, it sounds as stupid as it probably looks. And the reason you don't do scaffold matches is because they're very unsafe.
They suck too.
It's like you're doing, trapeze artists, work without a net, but these people are highly skilled and trained to do stuff like that. That's a bad fall that could cripple somebody or kill them.
Yeah, it jacked up Cornette's knees for life back then. I think people just have the nostalgia for the Road Warriors and Midnight Express match where Cornette got hurt, but there's never, like, name me a good scaffold match that people rewatch. It's garbage. People are scared. They're crawling on their hands. You can't really take bumps. Like, it's, I don't know,
silly.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's you're selling the fans the potential for somebody getting killed.
Yeah, killed.
It's not a good sell.
Seriously hurt.
Right,
Yeah,
Next is from Carlos Facio, subject is AEW fans and antis. Greetings, K100 crews. We all know the hardcore AEW fan base has a tendency to go so crazy that it turns away people from watching. But I've come to notice that many of the AEW antis, I guess we'll call them, who actively want to see the company fail, are not any better as a whole. I noticed one guy always said the same thing in every clip section, even if the clip has nothing to do with AEW, but X is a bigger draw than all of AEW.
Huh.
Oh yeah, that's right. That guy that always said that. Phil Walsh, I think, is the guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all agree that it's just cringe. My question is, do you think that both are just as crazy as the other, and ultimate and ultimately negative effect the business, as it could turn new fans away from wrestling in its entirety? Also, Disco, is it easy being green? Yeah, it is easy being green because you're green. It doesn't take a lot of skill to be green. So what else we got here?
I'm sure your take on that would be that it does turn people away.
No, I've said that the wrestling's drawing to terrible community fans, and they're turning other fans away.
And they are nuts.
It's not just the AEW fans. It's these.
Yeah.
Just bro. Let's not pretend. Okay, that here's the problem. WWE fans used to troll the product incessantly. Live shows, chanting things that didn't make something. Now they found like somebody else to troll instead of their own product. So now it's these same people just trolling AEW because that's the way they act. They're trolls.
Yeah.
So when wrestling draws a lot of trolls, they act accordingly. So.
And it's like, if you're a person who actually legitimately wants AEW to go out of business or get pulled off TNT and TBS or something, then because they just said 200 wrestlers that are making their living off that, plus many other people. Like, isn't that a little Like, come on, man. Like,
And let me tell you something. This is how stupid fans are today too. And this is a shout out to all you idiots that the AEW fans and even WWE fans do this too, bro. You can't when you are cussing, like all these vulgar chants. All right, you are and the company's not bleeping them out. WWE will try to bleep them out, but the company, like, that's the thing. If you're chanting vulgarity at a WWE event, you should know that that's going to affect the televised product of people watching the show because they're going to drown out the chance and we're not going to be able to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what they do. AEW literally just doesn't drown out any chance or nothing, and that is a red X on their resume to sell to potential buyers.
Right.
They're to people that want to buy the rights fees. So the AEW fans are literally devaluing their product. And AEW production is actually letting them devalue their product by having the fans chant the vulgarity on TV.
It's just a general lack of class, and I'm sure you would agree, and
lack of knowledge. Why would you do it?
Yeah. To loudly swear at what is basically a family entertainment event is. Right. I'll curse at the ECW arena. That's cool, fine, good, but in front of a bunch of kids and stuff, then
Well, and plus two. It's kind of different when you hear it like in an actual, like, you can say, well, they do it in sports. Yeah, but sports is like real competition and real emotion, and sometimes you have real genuine emotional responses. Mm-hmm. This stuff's a work. And a scripted television, you got people yelling at stuff that's not the same emotion as if you get completely your team just got screwed out of a call and you're yelling at the referee.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're for a shoot. Mm-hmm. These people are not for a shoot. They're playing along with the narrative of this is the heel. Let's chant vulgar things at him.
Right.
Whatever.
Whack.